Is it? There we go. That's crazy. Crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, you know what? You ready?
Ooh.
Ooh, what?
Ooh. I feel hungry now. I done took a bath, ate a good dinner.
Okay, boy.
Drunk some appetite.
Appetite. Appetite.
No, that's
Why? Too many.
really, it's dessert. It was dessert, really. Yeah, really.
Don't bring up that song.
Yeah, don't even bring up.
Don't even.
Don't bring up.
Appetite.
No, don't bring up. Okay, I like some of the songs from K-pop country, but I mean,
What do you, I don't even know what y'all saying. Okay, be quiet. Story time, I say. I say.
Yeah, right. Now what?
Come on now. Hush. No, relax.
No, for real.
Okay, be quiet. The Mrs. Piggle Wiggle Treasure. The Mrs. Piggle Wiggle Treasury. So they calling it the Treasury because it's 3 stories in one. This has the Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle's Magic, and Hello Mrs. Piggle Wiggle.
Okay.
All in one book, okay?
I saw
What type of book is this?
hardback.
What is this called?
Sleeve. Books like that are famous nowadays.
Why?
Because if it has that, I just know it's famous.
No.
If it has it.
Sleeves are rare because people take them off, throw them away, or lose them. But what is the sleeve for?
To protect the book.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very valuable.
Boy, be quiet. The front of the first flap in the sleeve tells you what?
All about the story.
And the back flap of the sleeve tells
it's
you
about the author and the illustrator.
Woo, baby, you're smart.
Whoa.
This first page.
The title.
It's a title. This is called the title. This is called the title. Huh? This page is called the title.
Yeah.
I thought the title was the name of the story.
It is.
So what is this page?
Wait. The information page.
This page is called what?
Let me think.
You just had it. You just didn't say it completely. This is not a title. This is a page.
Title page.
Thank you. What is this?
The back of the spine.
By Betty McDonald, illustrated by Hilary Knight. That means Betty McDonald is what?
Is the author.
Hilary Knight is
Illustrator.
Author does what?
Author writes the words. Illustrator does picture illustration.
What's illustration?
They're pictures.
Okay.
Illustrator.
Okay. Table of Contents has 3 books. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, Hello Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle's Magic.
All right.
Piggle, Wiggle. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle.
You're gonna lose all your followers for this.
Betty McDonald, pictures by Hilary Knight. So then they have a second table of contents for each story, okay?
For each
book, because it's 3 books. So where it says for Anne, Joan, Mari, Sally, Heidi, Darcy, Frankie, and Stevie, who are perfect angels and couldn't possibly have been the inspiration for any of these stories. That is the what?
Acknowledgements.
Brava. All right. First story. I believe it's Mrs. Piggle Wiggle. Let me see. It's just Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, okay? So it's probably like the introduction. Oh, there, I said right here. Table of Contents, first chapter, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle herself. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle herself. I expect I might as well begin by telling you, would you please be still in that bed? Okay. Are you hot?
No, because I took off my pants.
Okay, so what you moving so much for? I gave you another pillow, so you put the pillowcase on it. Did you put the pillowcase?
Yes.
Where's the pillow?
Right behind me.
Where's the pillowcase? Oh, so instead of leaning up on your shoulder, why don't you?
Gosh.
Boy, it was a pillow. I'll get it for you later. Instead of leaning up on your shoulder, why don't you just put the pillow under your head?
I'm not leaning on.
Okay. Hush. I expect I might as well begin by telling you about Mrs. Pigglewiggle, so that whenever I mention her name, which I do, stop, please, which I do very often in this book, you will not interrupt and ask, who is Mrs. Pigglewiggle? What does she look like? How big is she? How old is she? What color is her hair? Is her hair long? Does she wear high heels? Does she have any children? Is there a Mr. Pigglewiggle? Mrs. Pigglewiggle lives here in our town. She is very small and has a hump on her back. When children ask her about the hump, she says, "Oh, that's a big lump of magic." Sometimes it turns me into a witch. Other times I'm a dwarf or a fairy. And on special occasions, it makes me into a queen. The children are the children are all very envious of her hump because besides being magic, it is such a convenient, fascinating place for wings. Mrs. Pigglewiggle has brown, sparkly eyes and brown hair, which she keeps very long, almost to her knees, so the children can comb it. She usually wears it on top of her head in a knot, unless someone has been combing it, and then she has braids, or long wet curls, or long hair, just hanging and without a jeweled crown or flowers on top. One day I saw her digging in her garden wearing the jeweled crown and with her hair billowing down her back. She waved gaily and said, "I promised Betsy that I would not touch this hair until she came home from school." And she went on with her digging. Mrs. Pigglewiggle's skin is a goldy brown, and she has a warm, spicy, sugary cookie smell that is very comforting to children who are sad about something. Her clothes are all brown and never look crisp and pressed because they are used for dress up. She wears felt hats, which the children poke and twist into witches and pirates' hats, and she does not mind at all. Sunday morning, she takes one of the hats off the closet shelf, gives it a few thumps, pulls it firmly down fore and aft, and wears it to church. She wears very high heels all the time and is glad to let the little girls borrow her shoes. Mrs. Pigglewiggle has no family at all. She says that her husband, Mr. Pigglewiggle, was a pirate, and after he had buried all of his treasure in the backyard, he died. She just has herself and Wag, her dog, and Lightfoot, her cat. The most remarkable thing about Mrs. Pigglewiggle is her house, which is upside down. It is a little brown house, and sitting there in its tangly garden, it looks like a small brown puppy lying on its back with its feet in the air. Mrs. Pigglewiggle says that when she was a little girl, she used to lie in bed and gaze up at the ceiling and wonder what it would be like if the house were upside down. And so when she grew up and built her own house, she had it built upside down, just to see the bathroom, the kitchen, and staircase are right side up. They are more convenient that way. You can easily see that you could not cook on an upside down stove or wash dishes in an upside down sink or walk upside down stairs. In the living room of her house is a large chandelier, and instead of being on the ceiling, it is on the floor. Of course, it is really on the ceiling, but the ceiling is the floor, and so it's on the floor. And the children turn on the lights and then squat around it, pretending it's a campfire. Mrs. Pigglewiggle says that her chandelier is the only one in town which is put to any real use. Her bedrooms all have slidey boards in them because if you will look up at your attic ceiling, you will see that a slanty ceiling, when turned upside down, makes a fine slidey board. Also, all the wall lights are very close to the floor and handy for small children. For the first 5 or 10 years after the house was built, Mrs. Pigglewiggle climbed in and out of her rooms over the high doorways. But now she has little steps, which are just the thing to practice jumping. She gives the children chalk so they can mark on the rug how far they jump. Nobody knows how old Mrs. Pigglewiggle is. She says she doesn't know herself. She says, "What difference does it make how old I am when I shall never grow any bigger?" Mrs. Pigglewiggle's dog Wag has puppies every once in a while, and so she keeps a long list of names of children who want them on the blackboard in her kitchen. For Lightfoot's the cat, for Lightfoot the cat's kittens, she has a long waiting list on the blackboard in the dining room. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle's backyard is full of big holes where small boys dig for Mr. Piggle Wiggle's buried treasure, and her front yard is full of flowers, which the little girls pick, jam into vases, and place about her living room or carry to their teachers. Every child in town is a friend of Mrs. Piggle Wiggle's, but she knows very few of their parents. She says grown-ups make her nervous. For the first year after she built her house, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle lived there all by herself, except for Wag and Lightfoot, and she was very lonely. Then one dark, rainy afternoon, when she was baking sugar cookies and thinking how much fun it would be if she knew someone besides Wag and Lightfoot to invite for tea, she happened to look out of her kitchen window, and there, coming up the street in the pouring rain, dragging a big suitcase and bawling, was a little girl. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle wiped the flour off her hands and hurried right out into the rain and invited the little girl in for tea. The little girl's name was Mary Lou Robertson, and she was 8 years old and quite fat. And she,
What's so funny?
because why'd they put that? She was 8 years old and quite fat.
Because
You, that was crazy. And she was running away from home.
she can't even run if she thought.
She told Mrs. Piggle Wiggle all this afternoon she had drunk 3 cups of cambric tea and eaten 7 sugar cookies. She said, I'm running away from home because I hate to wash dishes. All I do is wash dishes. I am just a servant. Dishes, dishes, dishes. Wash, dry, put away. That's all I do. My mother doesn't love me at all. She isn't my real mother anyway. She probably got me out of an orphanage just to wash her dishes. Mary Lou began to cry again so that the 8th sugar cookie got quite soggy before she finished it. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle said, Isn't she your real mother? Mary Lou said, She says she is, but no real mother would make you wash dishes, wash dishes, wash dishes. Now that's a funny thing, said Miss Piggle Wiggle. I mean, you're hating to wash dishes so much because you see, I like to wash dishes. In fact, I enjoy washing dishes so much that a cause of great sorrow to me is the fact.
What?
Wait, so much that a cause of great sorrow to me is the fact that only dishes I must wash are for Wag, Lightfoot, and me. 3 or 4 dishes a meal, that is all. When I wash dishes, Mary Lou, I pretend that I'm a beautiful princess with long golden curly hair. Mary Lou's hair was jet black and braided into 2 stiff little pigtails, and apple blossom skin and forget-me-not blue eyes. I have been captured by a wicked witch, and my only chance to get free is to wash every single dish and have the whole kitchen sparkly clean before the clock strikes. For when the clock strikes, the witch will come down and inspect to see if there is a crumb anywhere, if there are pots and pans that have been put away wet, if the silverware has been thrown in the drawer, or if the sink has not been scrubbed out. The witch will have me in her power for another year. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle looked at the clock and jumped up. It is 10 minutes to 4, Princess, and we have so much to do. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Mary Lou also jumped up and began carrying the tea things to the sink, and Mrs. Piggle Wiggle whisked them in and out of the dishwater, and Mary Lou dried them, and Mrs. Piggle Wiggle hurried as fast as she could and put the cookie things away. And every once in a while, she would stop and say, Hark, Princess, do you hear the thump of the witch's big gnarly cane? Then Mary Lou, her braids bobbing up and down with excitement, would say, I hear it, Princess. It is coming closer and closer. Soon the kitchen sparkled. The dishes were washed and dried and put away, and every crumb had been swept off the floor. Mary Lou even curled Lightfoot's tail neatly around his legs and smoothed Wag's fur just before the clock struck. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle said to Mary Lou, Princess, I must leave you now, but show the witch your work, and oh, I do hope you will be freed. Then she went upstairs, and pretty soon down the stairs came a terrible old witch with a long black dress and a tall black hat and big gnarly black cane. Mary Lou was very scared until she saw the sparkly eyes of Mrs. Piggle Wiggle under the black hat. She showed the witch the kitchen, and the witch took out the cookie pans and carried them over to the light to see if they were clean and dry. She got down on her knees, squeaking like a rusty gate to see if Mary Lou had swept under the stove. She felt inside the teacups to see if there was sugar in the bottoms, and she put on her glasses to examine the sink, but she could not find anything wrong. So she handed Mary Lou the key to the kitchen door and screeched out, "You are free, princess, but I will get you again, never fear." The witch clumped back up the stairs and in a few minutes came down Mrs. Pigglewiggle. "Well," said Mrs. Pigglewiggle, "do you see why I like to wash dishes?" Mary Lou said, "Oh, Mrs. Pigglewiggle, that was the most fun I've ever had." Mrs. Pigglewiggle said, "Of course, you can have more fun than I can because you have so many more dishes to do."
Mom,
What is?
it's my underwear.
Stop pulling it, because the more you pull it, it's just gonna keep unraveling you because you're not doing it right. You don't pull it. I'll get it. To wash. If I only had more dishes and could take longer, I would be a princess with curly yellow long hair, apple blossom skin, blue eyes, and a beautiful voice. And I would sing sad songs over the dishpan. Also, if I had more dishes, I would have the witch ride through the night on a broomstick, and I would creep out on the back porch to see if she was coming. I would hear her land with a thump on the roof, and I would slip upstairs to see if she was going to slide down the chimney or thump down the stairs. Oh, there will be ever so many exciting things to pretend if only I had more dishes to wash. After a while, it stopped raining and the sun came out, and Mary Lou took her suitcase and went home. That night, her mother, it really was her mother, of course, almost fainted when she came out of the kitchen exactly 27 minutes after dinner, and Mary Lou was sweeping the floor, and all the dishes were washed and dried and put away, and everything was immaculate. Mrs. Robertson rushed in and called Mary Lou's father, and he came out to the kitchen and pretended to fall on the floor with surprise. And then he said to Mary Lou's mother, "I like your new maid, madam. In fact, she is so much better than Tilly Slapwash, who used to be here, that I think we should invite her to the moving picture show some early evening." Then Mary Lou told them all about Mrs. Pigglewiggle, and Mary Lou's mother said, "Oh, yes, I remember seeing that odd little house. She sounds like a charming friend. And if you are certain that she invited you, you may go over there after school tomorrow." The next day after school, Mary Lou went to see Mrs. Pigglewiggle. She took her best friend Kitty Willing with her, and Mrs. Pigglewiggle was very glad to see them and showed them through her upside-down house and served tea and cookies. Kitty said her mouth full of Kitty said, her mouth full of cookie, "My worst trouble is bed making. I just cannot get them smooth. I much rather wash dishes like Mary Lou, but mother won't let me change with my sister, Sally, who washes the dishes until I have learned to make beds properly. Oh, I just despise to make beds." Mrs. Pigglewiggle poured herself another cup of tea, gave a saucer of cream to Lightfoot and 4 cookies to Wag, then said, "If you think you have a hard time making beds, Kitty, imagine how hard it is for me. You see, the cruel queen sleeps in my beds every night and inspects them every morning. And if she finds a single wrinkle, even one as big as a pin, she will have me thrown in the dungeon." I'm going to read some more tomorrow, okay? If you enjoyed it, we'll see you tomorrow. Didn't you want to go? You're the best. Thanks, motorbikes. Hey, rat toggled. Oh, it's called The Mrs. Pigglewiggle Treasury. So it's 3 of her books in here. And this first book that we started reading is Mrs. Pigglewiggle. These are the 3 books. We just started tonight. But we'll be back tomorrow if you guys want to hear some more. Good night. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining us. They like the stories, Noah.